Okay guys, welcome to my No Pro 5 hit guide. I realised that throughout this video I may be talking about things that some people maybe don't understand, or I may have been talking too fast and it only makes sense in my head because I've done it already. So if it doesn't make sense at all, just please leave a comment and I'll try and get back to you. Without further ado, let's get on with it. Okay, so on screen now is some quick links or a directory. If you need to use any of them, please click on screen now. So I'm aware that this guide has to be quite broad because obviously it's the first one of this type on YouTube. So I'm going to be running through the setups for all three builds, that'd be main, Zerk and the pure. Okay, so starting with the pure setup, I'm not going to go through every little thing because it will take way too long, but I've just circled the main things in each setup clip. So sweets, you need at least 6k, I use 5.5k on my first turn, so I'd recommend anything more than that. You can always sell them back to the GE, so you know, more the better. Make sure you have blood barrages, ice barrages in your rune pouch, and then the soul runes on the outside of the rune pouch, as you can only keep 3. And again, make sure you have enough darts and scales in your blowpipe. Pretty similar to the last turn, except you have void this time, and also no blood barrages, but this time bring in chins. And also in your rune pouch, make sure you have vengeance runes. Once again, very similar. However, this time we're using armadillo, and in our ring slot, I didn't have an archer ring, so I just used a seers ring instead. But you'd want an archer ring eye. Also in your rune pouch, don't forget your vengeance runes and 6k sweets. So before we get started, you have to know a few things. I'll just run through these quickly now. Okay, so the red and purple dots are all the spawns that the monsters can spawn in. The purple ones at the sort of south side will be the ones that will be safe spotted, and the two red ones will be the ones you have to attack straight away. And the purple one in the northwest would rarely be used. Okay, so if you're ever in trouble and need to get rid of a melee one really fast, a good way to do this is to bring barrage, and then just ice barrage or ice blitz or whatever, one of the meleeers. This will stop it from attacking you for 20 seconds, and then you can just kill it in your own time. Another good little technique is to use the 22 monsters, not really the bird, but mainly the two little spawns that come out of the 45, just to block the other monsters, mainly these for the 180. It's just a good way to buy yourself some time and again to use less sweets. Okay, so quite recently a new technique has come out that's known as eat tricking. Basically, if you were to have 1 HP, the monster that's attacking you can only max a 1, and then if you eat something in the tick between it firing and it hitting you, you will heal up whatever the HP that you heal, and then it would only max that 1 HP that you had before the hit. Also, another good technique to speed up the Ks is using the Serpentine Helmet. This basically venoms the monster, and it hits progressively more every 15 seconds. The clip that I'm showing now isn't really the best use of it. It's mainly used against the 360s, so you don't take too much damage from the attacks. However, this doesn't work against Jad, it only maxes a 6 every time. Okay, one last thing you need to know is how to safe log out. Safe logging out is basically when you click log out before the wave is finished, and then you kill off the rest of the monsters, and then you log out safely. This allows you to start on the next wave, and log out in the process. Okay, so wave 1 to 30, let's get on with it. So, this is the easiest part of the wave. You probably don't need to safe log per wave. You just basically kill everything as fast as you can. It doesn't matter if you take some damage from the rangers, as you should have a lot of sweets in which you can heal up whenever you get a time to safe spot. Also, please note that when you get to wave 30, you need to safe log out, so when you do start wave 31, that you're in the middle of the cave when you log back in. Before I start to explain this, you will need to use it for every single wave after wave 31, so it is very important that you understand what I'm talking about. So please take your time to understand this and then move on throughout the guide. Basically what logout stalling is a bit like sweet tricking. As soon as the animation comes, or as soon as you hear the sound, you need to click logout, just as you would click a sweet before it actually attacks you. And then by the time it's attacked you, you should already logged out. The game thinks you logged out, which means the monsters will be nulled, and you'll be able to restart the wave. The idea of this is to log out as many times as you can until you have the correct spawns to complete the wave perfectly. So let's have a look at that in real time. As you saw just then, as soon as the sound came, I clicked log out, which means that before the monster actually attacked me, I was already logged out, therefore it was nulled and walked away from me. I could safely log out. Also, due to logout stalling, you will be taking some damage if the major was to attack you before you log out, just like I showed in my last one. Therefore, to get your HP back up without taking too much damage, you need to log out and then eat 2 sweets and log out again, and just keep doing that until you're full HP, just like I'm showing on the video. Okay, so wave 31 to 37, this is where things start getting quite dangerous, because obviously there's a major there, and if you do one misclick or don't click it in time, you could die. So what's going to happen is, as soon as you get in the cave, you need to run to the northeast corner, almost where I'm standing now, and the major should be just south of the rock. If it is not there, or you hear the attack, then relog and just keep doing it until it's over there. As explained earlier, this is a 2 in 5 spawn, so it shouldn't take too long. It's just down to luck really. Once you have it in this safe spot, just keep flinching using your debo and getting it down to 0 HP, and by this time you will have killed your first major. Do this throughout the whole of wave 31 to 37 and you will be at wave 38. Okay, so wave 38 to 45, very similar to the previous wave. Just make sure the major is south. It doesn't really matter if the ranger is south, as you will be able to kill it without the major attacking you if you're standing in the right place. There's 2 ways that it'll be able to attack you, a bit like the one that you just saw a minute ago, as to where it's attacking me, where I'm almost behind the rocks so the major can't attack me, or one that is slightly more west in which the blowpipe cannot reach it. Therefore I'd have to run to the northeast corner to bring it towards you, and then run directly west and attack it as far north as you can. If you don't do this correctly, you get too close to the major, unlure it, and then most probably be dead. If you need a better explanation of this, please refer to my previous 5k guide, as to which I explain it in thorough detail. Once you've done this till wave 45, you will now be on wave 46. Okay, so these set waves are slightly easier. Once again, at the start of the wave, run to the northeast corner, just slightly south where we've been throughout the whole wave, and make sure you can see the major to the south of you. You now need to have a look where the melee is. If you cannot see it, it is most likely behind the major. However, if it is coming towards the west, grab your barrage and freeze it. If you do not have barrage or are using venge, then just run and hit at the same time. But you should be using this only if you're 40 plus defense, and then because you're quite high defense, you should hopefully be able to tank some of the melee hits. A good way to counter this is to either stuff the dead spec or be using some blowpipe specs just so you can get your HP up, or reduce the damage using the stuff the dead spec. Okay, so we're now wave 53 to 60, probably debatably the most hardest set of waves. However, if you use what you've learned already and carry on doing it without any failure, you will get through this with no problem. So throughout the waves, as of course, if the melee comes, either freeze it or kill it as quickly as possible. The same with the ranger. However, you will be very unlucky to have both at the same time, but if it does happen, you should be more than equipped to deal with it. There's nothing really new else to say, so I won't really waste your time, as I want to keep this quite short. But just try not to die. If you ever get in any trouble, it doesn't really matter if you brew. However, try to save them for later, as you will most likely need them. Okay, so wave 61, not too hard. Make sure you see the majors to the south of you once again, and when the melees come, similar to what you did in waves 46-52, is that you have 2 melees, so just freeze them both and kill them in your own time. The faster you kill them, the better. If one becomes unfrozen, make sure that you refreeze it and then kill it again. Just be aware that there is a barrage delay, in which when it comes unfrozen, it cannot be refrozen within 2 seconds. So just run around the little square and try not to unsafe spot the mage, and then freeze it again and finish off the other kill. Once you do this successfully, you should be on wave 62, which is the wave that requires the most patience, and is probably the hardest wave of them all. Okay, so wave 62. This is probably the most hardest wave. There's 2 main ways to do this. Only one way to do it if you're a pure. However, if you're a Zerk or a main and you have vengeance, there's 2 ways to do it. The first way to do it is just by getting the right spawn and then just doing what you've been doing for the whole cave. However, you have to have this right spawn, and it's really rare to get this spawn. However, it is possible. It's roughly a 1 in 25 spawn. This 1 in 25 spawn is essential for pures. You cannot use the other method if you are a pure. The second method is a bit like using the aeroplane spot in my last guide. However, you are standing 4 spots to the right, just where the melee would be unlured in my previous guide. Again, please refer back to my previous guide if you want more explanation of this. Also, you need to remember to be careful not to step on the blue X that I've marked on the screen, as this will unlure the mage and will bring it towards you, and you'll most likely die. Once you're in the right spot, you have to step 1 step south and then 1 step north, whilst casting vengeance. The major would hit your vengeance and you would deal damage. Once you've killed the first major, just go and find the other one, and then use your debo to take down the rest of its HP. Remember to safe log at the end of the wave, and then prepare for Jad. Okay, so here we are. We're now at Jad, and everything you've done up until now is for this moment. So just relax and make sure you know what you're doing. Firstly, when you get into the cave, you need to run to the northeast corner again, just the spot that we've been using for the whole of this cave. It's no different. It's almost treat it like it's just a major you're killing, just with more HP. So when it gets to half HP, the healers will spawn. As soon as you see the healers spawn to the west side of Jad, you need to run directly east and then out around the rock, and then you need to attack the healer that's in the middle. It should be in a little shape in which you could hit them all with 1 cast. If not, then they should be in a little L shape in which you can do that in 2 casts. As soon as you've casted your blood barrage or used your chins to get them all aggro to you, you need to run back down to where you've been standing for most of the time, just sort of parallel to the rock, and all 4 healers should be on you. With Jad safe spotted, they should be blocked around the crater on the eastern rock. Now hopefully you've done that quick enough in order for Jad not to go back to full HP. So once you're down here, you do kill all 4 of the healers and then go back and attack Jad with your Debo. However, if Jad is back to full HP, the healers will respawn and you need to do it all over again. If this keeps happening, you'd have to get quicker and quicker until you can get it perfect. The main reason why people fail, or the main reason why people are too slow at this, is when they take a hit from Jad, they tend to go quite low HP, and then by the time they've healed back to full HP and then attacked all 4 of the healers, Jad's back at full HP and you've blown it already. So what you need to do is just go out of whatever HP you are, because normally the healers will be surrounding Jad in a sort of L shape, so it can't even attack you anyway. If it does attack you by any chance, then you need to go back to using your speed trick and hopefully tanking a hit. So hopefully by now you have now got your fire cape. Congratulations, and I hope this guide helped you. If it did, please give it a like, that would be much appreciated. I've spent so much time editing and recording and doing everything with this video. It's absolutely awesome. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon for a new video. Thank you very much. Goodbye. If you have any questions or queries, then please leave them in the comments. If not, then message me on Twitter. That'll probably be the most direct way of getting hold of me. The link will be in the description and on screen now.